Hi everyone, it's Lottie from Cozy Paper Trails here and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to be going through all of my colouring art supplies. I don't have a huge amount, but I do have enough to fill up a whole video. So I thought I'd just take you along what pencil sets I have, which ones are my favourites. I've got some markers, gel pens and a few other bits and bobs which I will show you as well. If you see my arms coming in and I am in my dressing gown, I'm in my pyjamas. It's just because I tend to film in the evening once my daughter's gone to bed, and I always put my pyjamas on when she goes to bed just to sort of mark the start of my evening, I guess. I don't know, I just want to get cozy. So in quite a lot of my videos I will end up being in my pyjamas and my dressing gown, but that's fine. This is the chill channel. So let's just get straight out into the video. I'll probably start off first with my coloured pencil sets, and then I'll go into other bits afterwards. So I've got these pencil sets here, and I've also got a couple of tins of colour pencils. We're going to start off with this case, which I got this case from Amazon, and in here I keep my prismacolor pencils, and I also keep a few other random brands of pencils that I have as well. So let me just open up all these zips. That's the only annoying thing about this case, is there's just 4 zips, which is a bit annoying. I end up just opening them all up before I start colouring so that I can actually see what I've got. So in this bit here is just some random pencil brands, mostly the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I've got a few Derwent Lightfast, not many, but I've got a few of those. I've got a couple Pablos. I've got these 2 Pablos, this one and this one. I've got a lot of browns here. I've just put them, like, all the coloured in colour order, but mixing these brands up because I don't have like whole sets of these brands, if you know what I mean. And then I've got all of the Prismacolor pencils here, the full 150 set I think it is. Got one missing here, don't know where that one's gone. It must be somewhere in my cupboard, or tucked in a colouring book somewhere. I don't know where that is. I'll find it at some point, I'm sure. But the reason I have quite a lot of like random colours, and especially a lot of neutrals, is because I'm actually a pet portrait artist, and I used to use coloured pencils for my pet portraits. So I've got a lot of like neutral colours that I bought open stock for that. And then I don't know why I bought some of these colours. I think I was using them for colouring at some point, but these neutrals were purchased basically for my pet portraits. But I don't actually use coloured pencils for my portraits anymore. So I also have some other art supplies videos on my other YouTube channel, my art YouTube channel, which shows you like the things that I use for my actual art, which is more like pastels and things like that, which I don't use in my colouring, but I use them for my art. So I'll link that in the description below if you are interested in checking out what other art supplies I have that aren't my colouring supplies. But anyway, enough of that chit chat. Yeah, these are my Prismacolors, and I've used quite a few. Like, some of them are getting a bit small. I think I've replaced a couple of them. I might replace this colour here because I use these 2 blues all the time. But yeah, I do really like the Prismas. I should use them more really, but I use them, it depends what I'm colouring really as to what kind of pencils I want to use. So that's what's in that case. And then I've got another case here. This one is smaller, it's only got 3 sections. I think the other one holds 200 pencils, and I think this one holds 150, I think. Or is it 120? This might be 120 actually, because it fits the polychromos perfectly. So these are my polychromos pencils, and the reason I've got gaps are because I don't own the ones in the gaps. I bought all of these coloured pencils open stock, which was when I started doing my pet portraits. Again, I started collecting them open stock, and I sort of just collected them that way instead of buying a whole set. So I do want to get all the other colours at some point and fill in the gaps. But I just haven't really felt the need to, but I feel like I definitely should get these greens, because greens are always handy. You can see how much I've used like all these browns and stuff like that. That's mostly from when I did my pet portraits, but I do have backups of these pencils because I've used up quite a few of them. And just while I'm showing you that, this is my backup pencil case. So I keep in here all my backup pencils, on a random rubber. So I've mostly just got polychromos in here and a couple of the Caran d'Ache Luminance. So I just keep those in this pencil case ready. for when I need them. So that's that, and yeah, that is my polychromos pencils. I really love those ones. And then next, I've got the Castell Art Soft Touch pencils. This is the full set. Is it 120 set? I think it might be 120. And this case only has one zip, which you open, and then it opens them all, which I think is a bit better. But this, oh yeah, 120. This came with the swatch chart, which I swatched them all out. And these pencils are new to me, ish. I haven't had them super long compared to the other pencils. I've got a couple missing in here, but that's just because they're out at the moment for a project or a colouring page that I'm working on. But I do have the full set. And I've really been loving these pencils, but it's just annoying that you can't buy them open stock, because I'm scared to use the browns and stuff like that and the greens too much, because I don't want to use the pencils up, because then I won't have those pencils in the set, if you know what I mean. Like, it does suck, but I have really been enjoying using the pencils. They kind of remind me of Prismacolor, but not as soft. So they don't blend as well as Prismacolor, but they kind of work kind of similarly. So that's the Castell Art Soft Touch pencils. And then I've also got the 72 set of Castell Art pencils, which is the 72 harmonious coloured pencils, and this also has the swatch chart. So these are just very muted tones. There's quite a lot of like browns, greys, muted blues, greens and pinks, and these neutral tones here are really useful. I do actually have a YouTube video on my other channel, my art channel again, which I will link in the description below, which is a review of the Castell Art pencils and these two sets. These are the two Castell Art sets, so if you want to check that out, I'll leave the video in the description below so you can see them. As you can see, these are just very muted tones, and I haven't used these a whole bunch, if I'm honest, because I was actually sent these by Castell Art ages ago. And yeah, I've just not really used them a huge bunch, because I don't know, there's no reason, because I feel like these colours would be so useful, but I just forget that I have them, I guess. So I do definitely need to reach for these more. They'll definitely be handy for like all these grey tones and stuff like that. So maybe I'll challenge myself at some point to try and do a whole colouring page using just these harmonious pencils, maybe. That'd be quite a good challenge. And then I've also got the 48 set of Castell Art's pastel tint pencils, which have this swatch sheet again, and as expected, they're all just really pastel-y colours, and I find these really useful. I do use these to supplement some of my other sets, and like the normal Castell Art set quite a lot. I use these ones quite a lot. As you can see, I've got a few of them out, which are again out for a piece that I'm working on at the moment, but they're just really gorgeous colours. I love all these really pretty colours, but I particularly find the very pale tones, like these kind of tones, and just, yeah, some of the really pale colours I find really useful, because especially with like the polychromos, for example, you don't get pastel-y colours, although they are coming out with some new shades, which I'm very excited about, but it does mean I'll have to buy a new case for them. And then randomly I've got these, which I was sent by the company, and it's by the brand For Candies. I've also got a review of these up on my other art channel. I don't want to keep mentioning that because I'm not trying to advertise my other channel. It's just I do have a review of them on my other channel. And these are mechanical pencils. So this is the swatches. I should have put them in colour order really before I swatched them, because when I received them they were all like jumbled up. So I decided to swatch them straight away, and then I should have really put them in colour order like they are in now and then swatch them, but never mind. And yeah, these are mechanical pencils, so you actually press the end and the leg comes out more, and I shouldn't have done that because now that's going to be stuck like that. But I don't really use these that much, to be honest. I just use these for like rough kind of colouring when I'm with my daughter and stuff like that. And it comes with a load of replacement nibs as well, and the texture of these are very strange. They're very waxy, but they kind of feel a bit crayony, but they're not crayons. They are actually like pencils, but yeah, they're a funny kind of texture, but they're not bad. They actually blend really well, these, because in the review that I did, I tested it out in one of Joanna Basford's books. And yeah, I was surprised by how well these actually blend together. So they're not bad, and they came in this nice case, so they're quite good for travel if you just want some, like a small selection of pencils. There's 36 colours just to take with you, so I have got those. And then moving on to like watercolour mediums, I've got these, the Castell Art 72 set of watercolour pencils, and these I've recently got vinted. I got these for a really bargain price. They have been used. I haven't used them myself yet, but I'm planning to try them out in one of Enquiries' romantic country books soon. But they look like this, as you can see. Some of them have been used, but I think normally this set is about 40 something pounds on Amazon. And I got them for £10. I think it was just over £10 including postage, so it wasn't bad at all. It's like a really good bargain considering they've been used a little bit, but not very much. So I'm hoping these are good, but I can't really let you know if I like them yet or not because I haven't tried them. But I might film a video of me testing these out in one of Enquiries' books potentially, and then I can let you know what I think of these. But I'm really excited to try these watercolour pencils out. And I need to swatch them all as well. And then in this tub here, they're not in any particular order at the moment. They were, but my daughter was playing around with them and messed them up. So they're not in like colour order or anything. But these are the Faber Castell Albrecht Dürer watercolour pencils. And I think I've got about 40 pencils here potentially. And I bought these open stock, so I've got kind of a good selection here. I would like to get more eventually. But for now, these are kind of enough colours to like work with. So I've got a few pencils from each sort of colour type, if you know what I mean. So I've got a few yellows, a couple oranges, a few blues, quite a few greens and browns, and a couple greys and a black. So purple and pink. So I've got quite a few like colours, and I just keep them in this little case. And I've got a few little water brushes here that I just keep in there with them. But yeah, I would like more of these because I really enjoy using them, especially at the moment. I've been loving them in my Bordeaux book by Diane Dufour, and also Romantic Country as well by Enquiries. So yeah, and this is a little thing. I think my sister got it out of one of those Kinder Surprise eggs when we were younger, and I used to put this on my desk when I was doing colouring when I was a lot younger. So here's my little colouring mascot. So I'm just keep him in this little tub here. And then I've also got the 12 set of Derwent Inktense. I have swatched these, but I've never actually used them, and I'm just a bit scared because I don't know how to use them. I feel like I need to watch some videos of other people using them because I don't really know how they work. Like, I know they're like a water medium and they activate with water, but because they're so bold and that, I don't really know how to use them in my pages. So I need to experiment with these really, because they are a popular medium to use. I've seen a lot of people using them and a lot of people love them. So I just need to give them a go really. But yeah, I've got the 12 set there in this little tin. I actually forgot to mention I have some other coloured pencils, which I forgot. I've got these, well, this tub that doesn't actually quite close, but I've got the 100 set of Crayola coloured pencils, and these are just basic coloured pencils. And I think I'm actually going to challenge myself to do the Joanna Basford's Small Victories book, to only use Crayola coloured pencils in that book. So they're not bad pencils, they just take a lot more work than a normal pencil because they're really hard, and some of them are a little bit scratchy, but they're not bad for the price. They are really cheap pencils and they're not bad. So I have the set of those. I forgot to mention it when I did the colour pencils, but I need to find another tub or a case for these really, because oh, it's shut. It has actually shut, it's just not closing properly, but it did shut. That's good. Okay, and then other things I've got some markers and stuff, and I've also just wanted to show you, this is the pencil sharpener that I use for all my coloured pencils. It's just the Derwent, I can't remember what this is called, Derwent Super Point Sharpener, I think. I'll try and leave a link to it in the description below, but I really like this sharpener. It always puts my pencils to a really sharp point. I've never had a problem with this sharpener. Don't even know if I've had to replace the blade, to be honest. It's just really good. And it's just handy to have one that's got a little drawer, because then I don't have to be near a bin to sharpen my pencils. Next up, I'm just going to show you this tub here. Another one of these containers is just gel pens, and I need to organise these and test them out, because I think a few of them have run out. And I've also randomly got here a Derwent blender pencil, which I don't think I've actually ever used, and I've got a Derwent burnisher as well. I forgot I had those. Oh, I've got more in here. I've got 2 of each. Fair enough. I'll have to try those out at some point, see if they're any good. But yeah, I do need to test out all my gel pens. And then I've randomly got a Faber Castell Pit Artist pen in silver in here as well. Some of these gel pens are the Uniball Signo ones. I really like these ones, the glitter ones that have like bits of glitter in. I really like these ones. The metallic ones here I do like, but they tend to not run out, but like dry out really quickly. So I think some of these are the ones which aren't working. Yeah, what else have I got in here? I've got these really cheap ones by the brand Scribblicious. Don't even know where I got those from. Some of these Papermate ones. This doesn't even have a brand on it. I think that's it. That's just all my gel pens. Oh, and this one, which is a jelly roll. And the other gel pens that I have are these jelly roll ones in 0.5mm, 0.8mm and 1mm. And these I use for highlights in colouring, especially like cozy colouring and alcohol marker work. So I just have that little pack. And then I'm going to go through all my markers. I don't have a huge amount of markers, but I will show you what I've got. I've got this little basket here that I keep in a drawer. Let's see what's in here. I've got the bottom here. What's this? Don't know what that is. I've got this tub here which just has a few random felt tips in. I don't really use these, but they're just really old ones. And then I've got these brush pens, and these are actually water based, so they activate with water, and they're by the brand Stationery Island, which I've never heard of before. I got these off Amazon ages ago, and they're just like little brush pens, and yeah, they can be water activated, so I just use these basically instead of as watercolour, which I need to try out using them as watercolour pens actually, but I just kind of use these as like felt tips really. And then I've also got these Staedtler 20 Norris Club felt tips, like fibre tips. I sometimes use these in my colour by number books if one of the shades match. They're just these really fine tips here. They're quite good, but they're not the best for if you don't want streaks, because they've got such a fine nib. And then I've got this, which is the 30 pack of the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners. I've got all of them still in here except from the black that I've used up, but these are really old. I've had these for so long. But they come in handy for colour by numbers as well, or for like tiny little details in colouring pages. And then finally, well not finally, I've got some more bits to show you, but I've got this 12 pack of the Arteza black acrylic paint markers, which are really good. I use these for all the black outlines on my Disney colour by number books. They just look like this, and they've got like a fine kind of nib. And these pens tend to last for ages, which is really good. And they're not too expensive. It's about £12 for the pack, so quite a good price. So that's everything in that little basket. I have a random bunch of markers here that were like loose in my drawer, but I've got a couple of Posca paint pens, don't really use these. I'm not actually a massive fan of these, if I'm honest. They're okay, but I don't really use them. And then I've got some Faber Castell ones. I've got this one's a, oh no, they're all the Pitt Artist pens. I've got 3 of them. I didn't know I had 3. Oh no, this is a fine liner like this. And then what are these ones? Ah, this one's the like brush tip pens like this. And then this one is another fine liner. So I've got those randomly. And then I also do have the 72 set of these acrylic markers. I think they're the Guangna ones, if that's how you pronounce it. I do have a 72 set, but they're actually at my mum's house, which is where I keep all my like art stuff for my pet portraits and things like that. So I've got the whole set over there, but I've got just a few colours here because I bought them here to use them for some colouring pages. I just need to take them back to my mum's. But I've got the 72 set of these, but they don't live here at home, so I don't have the whole set to show you, but yeah, I've got them. They're just sort of loose in my drawer at the moment. I have got the 160 set of the twin alcohol markers by Deco Time, and these were an absolute bargain. I got these for Christmas, but I sent my husband out to get them for me one evening, and he bought them for me for Christmas. These were normally £40 for the whole set, which is still a bargain anyway, but they were half price. It was for Black Friday last year. They were £20 for this set. That was an absolute bargain, and they come in this tray. But I just keep them in the box because it's easier because I don't have a desk to put them on. But this is what they look like, and they have a brush tip on one side and then a fine tip on the other, and I love these. They're really good. I mean, I'm sure they're not as good as the Ohuhu ones, which I have used before because my friend's got the massive set of the Ohuhu alcohol markers, and obviously they're going to be better, but for the price, honestly, these are really, really good. The nibs do go a little bit frayed on these. I don't know if you can see there. You can see it's not quite as, yeah, it's a little frayed at the end, but I don't know, it doesn't really bother me too much. A couple of the colours of these in this set are running out though, which is annoying, and they're the lighter colours, like some of these beiges and the lighter blues. So I feel like once they run out, I'll probably end up having to get like the pastel set of the Ohuhus or something just to supplement these, because you can't buy these individually. But these are really good alcohol markers. If you're in the UK and have a B&M near you, these are definitely worth picking up if you want a cheap set of alcohol markers. And then last of all, I have got this straw basket, which I got from Primark. And in here are all of my other felt tips. And these are the ones that I use for my Disney Colour by Numbers. And I need to really practice using these for, oh, hiccups, for like basting other pages and stuff like that. But this top bit here is the 100 set and the 150 set of Crayola Supertips. So I've got a lot of those pens up here, and this is what the nib looks like. I absolutely love these, and they're so cheap for what they are. I think it was £26 for the 160 set, which is 150 set, which is not bad at all considering the quality, and they do last a very, very long time. And the colour range is really good as well. It does kind of lack pastel-y kind of lighter tones. They're quite bright and vibrant, but yeah, it's fine. And then in this section here, I've got some really old Crayola Supertips, which are really old ones I've had for ages. I had like the 50 set, I think I had like a 20 set or something like that, and the pastel set, and they're just kept in here. Quite a lot of them are running out, and the reason I know that they're actually different to these ones is because the bottom part is different. So the bottom ones of all these are bigger, and the bottom ones of these ones are smaller. So I always know where to put them back into which section, which is really handy. And then I've got here a couple of the Tombow dual-ended brush markers. I do have another blue one in a different shade of blue, but I think it's up there somewhere because I'm using it at the moment. for a page, but these just have a brush tip on one side and then a fine nib on the other side. I don't really like the fine nib, to be honest. I find the ink comes out a bit funny. But I've just bought these to like supplement these sets on colours that I'm sort of lacking. But I would never buy the full set of these because honestly I don't actually think they're that good. A lot of people do love them, but I just find they go on quite streaky, and the nibs go a bit frayed, and these are really expensive pens. But I don't think they're that great. Might be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not a huge fan. And then I've also got here, I think it's the 20 set or 24 set of the Ohuhu dual-ended skin tone markers, because I find that I struggle with skin tones in the Disney books. There's not enough sort of skin tones in the normal set. So I've got these ones which have a brush tip on one side and a little fine liner on the other side, and these definitely come in handy for those pages. And the only other set that I've got in here are the Crayola Colours of the World markers, and these have a much thicker tip, but they're all skin tones, and I find those extremely helpful when doing the Disney colour by numbers, because the skin tones you have to get so precise or your page looks weird. And I'm definitely not the best at picking out the colours, because I quite often get the skin tones wrong and the character looks weird, but anyway, I try. So that is all of my water-based markers. So that is literally all of my colouring art supplies that I can think of. I've just gone through my drawers and my cupboard, and I've pulled out everything. I don't know if I've missed anything, but this is basically all my colouring supplies. And I do use them all. So apart from the ones I said that I haven't tried out yet, but I do find that I use them all, which is good, because a lot of people have so many colour pencil sets, and I just feel like I wouldn't use them all if I had that many sets. Although I do really want to get the Derwent Chromaflow pencils at some point, but I won't be affording them for a while, so maybe one day. They're on my wish list. I hope you all enjoyed this video and enjoyed seeing all the supplies that I've got. If you've got any questions about anything, please just ask me in the comments below and I'll reply to you as quickly as I can. Please give the video a like, it really helps my channel, and subscribe if you would like to see more videos from me, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye for now.